It's a big day. Okay, let's get to our market panel this morning. Rohit Srivastava, Fund Manager, Sher Khan, as well as Munal Desai, VP and Head Derivatives at Prabhudas Leeladhar. Morning to you, gentlemen. Munal, if I can start with you first. The indication on Nifty futures, everyone seems to be sitting tight, playing for one big signal from the union budget to take any directional call.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of push and pull happening. That's why you're seeing Nifty not going anywhere in the last 2 days, And some activity has picked up in the option side in the last 2 days. But it's pretty much spread over across the 4,000 to 4,800 levels. So, in the option side, it's a pretty big range that you can play on. No clear indication, and that's the reason why people are just speculating and guessing as to what is going to happen.
Rohit, what do you feel the market does today in terms of technicals? How do you see the Nifty behaving? Because we failed to take that 20 DMA in terms of a close, and on the other side we have global markets which are trading negative.
Yeah, I think the last time I spoke, I was basically looking at the pre-budget week being a little positive, but the max up to 15 to 15,200 on the Sensex. What we saw was a high of 14,950. It came very close to that mark, and it's fallen off. Like you said, it didn't really cross the 20 DMA. So what we are looking at now is a clear downtrend. The only thing is the market seems to have been hanging on to the upper end of that range for almost the last 3 days with no clear triggers or no clear breakout on either side. I mean, either it should go above 14,780, which it could not do despite 3 attempts yesterday. That would have been a short-term positive sign, but now that it's not done that, the key levels that we would be watching in the short term on the downside would be around 14,200. And I think once that breaks, we are clearly heading to below 14,000 in the coming week, which means you'll probably see a decline in the markets post-budget. But the point is, are we getting that break today because of the global markets or not? That's something that we need to watch. And once it's done, and I think the direction's pretty clear.
Munal, what are the stock-specific strategies you're giving out this morning? And also if you can help us understand the outlook for the Nifty futures?
See, basically, whatever strategy we've discussed in the last few days have all gone haywire. But within that space, power is the only sector which is seeing some hope of revival and adding position and build up. Within that space, Neyveli, Power Finance Corporation and Power Grid and RECL are the 4 stocks which are on the positive side. Rest all, I mean, it's pretty much rain bound to kind of intraday activity stocks.
Rohit, I'll come to you on the PSU front. GAIL and ONGC, 2 top movers yesterday on the PSU index. How the stocks looking on the charts? Do they have some more scope for upside today?
I'm not sure specifically about GAIL and ONGC, but generally what I'm looking at is most stocks typically retracing somewhere close to 50 to 61% of the fall they saw in the last week, and this is pretty much across the board. There are probably very rare cases, probably a few PSU banks which almost hit their previous highs or almost took out their previous highs of the last week. But apart from that, most other stocks in other sectors are just retracing and beginning to fall off from there. So I'm not really looking at a very positive scenario whether in any particular sector right now.
Okay, I just want to talk about metals. Tata Steel got a QIP nod in place, that's $600 million, but there's a buzz of a price hike. So you had all the steel counters and actually even metals very active in yesterday's session. Munal, would you play these? I understand there's a global linkage and so forth, but would you go ahead and go long in some of these steel stocks?
Doesn't seem like that. I mean, Tata Steel was the best bet yesterday. I mean, it showed strength even on the downward side when the markets were really looking to collapse, and then Tata Steel was the only stock which was held up, and then once the market pulled back, I mean, that was the only stock which performed. You could look at JSW Steel, but that's about it. But I don't see it running away, or you might not get too big a gain over there.
Munal, what would you do with the PSU stocks again? ONGC, GAIL, BHEL, some of the other smaller ones where there is a lot of divestment buzz, and the economic survey also indicated that this is the way the government is going to mop up revenues.
GAIL and ONGC as a strategy, what you could look is on the if the stocks begin to climb again, good call writing can happen at those levels. If you're holding stock, write the calls. It's a decent strategy. You make money, and don't see too much upside. Yeah, as far as GAIL is concerned, seems on a downtrend. Maybe some pullback, or that's about it.
All right, Munal, GVK Power and Infrastructure, we believe the QIP closed last night. The floor price is 41.35, but it's been oversubscribed, $191 million versus $150 million. Any strategies you have for GVK as well as GMR?
Not really, I haven't looked into those, but all these QIP stocks which have reacted negatively once this QIP comes to a close. So I would be kind of hoping that it does not happen this time. But looking at markets and Asian markets today, we might trade the same way.
All right. Amrish, the other big one was the STT and the talk about it, that it should be phased out. How does this translate into your business?
STT being phased out, I think would be extremely positive for our business, because that was one of the roadblocks as such, because after all, Indian markets were the most expensive in terms of transaction costs. So if that is reduced, even if it's not reduced, even if there's a roadmap to that, saying that it will be reduced in a phased manner and the intent is very clear, I think that itself is positive for the markets.
Rohit, if I can come to you on stocks which are looking attractive on the charts. I know the markets have been very volatile, range bound at best, but do you think there are still some stocks, specifically in the PSU space or in the metal space, that, or perhaps in some of the other sectors that could actually are looking good on the charts and can be taken from a momentum point of view?
No, I don't really think so, because what we have seen since this 14.9, in fact since 15,600 a week back, is a clear 5-wave decline. Now what that means theoretically is that the fall is not over. You usually get a retracement and you get a second 5-wave decline. And typically that goes to a new low. I mean, like I said earlier, the key confirmation level for that happening right now is 14,200. So once that breaks, we would be looking at a target closer to 13,200. And let me also add, this month, after a very long time, we saw a lower close month on month, and that's a significant mark that a certain move has actually ended, which means we've in fact seen the lowest level probably in October last year, which was closer to 7,600, 700, and now we are 8 months at higher levels. So this is an 8-month positive period which has come to an end, and I think you are entering a 3 to 4 months minimum negative period for the market. So you'll generally see lower tops and lower bottoms all the way into October. And that's what you need to keep in mind. So there's not really much upside to play here. Stock specific, probably only in mid caps. You might find something really specific that you might like. But you know, the way I look at markets, if the odds are against you, which means if you just try putting your hand here and there, then you'll find that 7 are going wrong and 3 are going right. So really to waste time trying to get 3 right out of 7 doesn't really make sense.
Right, gentlemen, we leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us this morning and giving us your insight on what to expect on the technicals, fundamentals, and also on the FNO picture. But